suffered a crash. And we can tell you that Boeing shares are crashing right now across the globe because, once again, there are questions being asked to the company. Boeing has had its issues. It was caught up in a lot of issues related to its operations, etc. There have been many strikes within Boeing, talking about corners being cut, etc., etc. I don't want to go there because that's a whole different can of worms, might even be unrelated totally to the aircraft they produce, because the aircraft has performed extremely well, known for being very, very dependable and extremely efficient, and therefore a large number of these prototypes were sold. More than 1,000 have been sold since the Dreamliner, this particular Dreamliner, was brought into service and incepted and inceptualized. So there you have it, viewers. These are the pictures coming from all the parts of the city. Ahmedabad right now is caught in the grip of this crisis, and heart goes out to those who were expecting or are expecting the kith and the kin of these passengers. We're expecting for them to have a safe flight. Let me go across to Anvit. Anvit, what is the latest coming in on perhaps the preliminary estimations as to what might have gone wrong? Any more details about the circumstances under which this flight took off? Anvit, can you hear me? Okay, Anvit, can you hear me? Are you there with us? Flight AI 171 Ahmedabad to London, reportedly carrying 242 passengers. Troops of 100 RAF and GCCRPF Gandhinagar involved in rescue operations. More details, of course, waited on casualty figures, but we're told that the prognosis is not too bright, that many people would have perished in this. The details, of course, to the left of your screens. Anvit, if you're there, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, sir.
What are the details we have? We know for sure that the Dreamliner, this particular make of the Dreamliner, has never had a crash. And it's the first crash anywhere in the world of a Dreamliner, of 787 Dreamliner. It had a call sign VTA and B, was the 26th to have been purchased by Air India. These are numbers, of course. Data don't tell the entire story. What are you learning from your sources?
Certainly, see, like you rightly pointed out, that Dreamliner and Boeing 787s do not have a history of such incidents, and since their introduction in probably 2011, this is the first Boeing 787 Dreamliner that is reportedly crashed or met with a mishap that we are reporting on. And if we talk about the situation on ground, visuals are really scary. Death toll has already crossed what unofficial figures are around 150, and the sources that are on ground are reporting that it is likely to grow because the kind of incident it was, and how we have the visuals we've been playing out for our audiences, that how the plane as it crashed, it went up in flames, and the chances of survival of any passenger that was on board are bleak, is what the officials are saying. However, it has not been officially confirmed that all on board are dead. It's not confirmed yet. Some have been rushed to medical facilities. It is awaited to know that if they will be recuperated from the condition they were recovered in or not. Also, other than those who were on board, 242, including crew and captain, other than that, the building in which the plane crashed, it also had a number of occupants, and more than 50 of them had to be rushed to medical facilities. There could be, certainly there is chances of survivors because the plane crashed over that building, and there could be survivors in that, but yes, certain deaths are also being reported from there. Amidst all this, Ahmedabad airport has also put out a tweet saying that the airport is now operational. It had been initially shut following the incident. The airport had been shut for operations, and now it has been opened for operations also. If we talk about the details of the incident that took place, the initial details that we had got, revisiting those details, the flight had taken off at 1:39 from Ahmedabad. It was bound for Gatwick near London, and the accident took place immediately, just right 8 to 10 minutes after the takeoff.
We are told actually it took place within 60 seconds, actually a minute and a half. It wasn't 8 to 10 minutes. It was just within a minute. So I just want to quickly come in there. Anvit, just stay on with me, Kaj. I have some reactions to play out. MLA Darshana Vaghela said that, quote, I was in my office nearby when the plane crashed and there was a loud thud. The flats of the doctors have been damaged. The rescue operation will continue, unquote. This is ANI quoting her, ANI also put out the reaction of an individual. He said, and I quote, "My son had gone to the hostel during lunch break and the plane crashed there. My son is safe and I have spoken to him. He jumped from the second floor, so he suffered some injuries," says Ramila, who reached the civil hospital in Ahmedabad. So clearly a parent, very worried parent. Now, Anvit, what about those people who found themselves on the ground but in the direct line of the crashed plane?
See, the incident was completely unforeseen, and when this happened, it certainly raised panic among those who were on ground. Some people had caught this incident on their phones, and they have recorded how the plane went down and the flight path as it was declining on its flight path. That has been recorded. Some videos we have played also on scene. But yes, there certainly was panic when visuals were coming on from on ground. We also saw how locals had gathered, the hundreds of people had gathered at the crash site, which also was another challenge for the first responders, be it the police, the firefighters, disaster management authorities, or the paramedics and ambulances. That also was a challenge, and many people had gathered,
Okay.
but that is also...
Anvit, just hold your thoughts. That is the Gujarat Chief Minister, who has just emerged from the hospital after visiting those that were taken there. And we showed you pictures of people being wheeled into hospital about an hour and a half back. One just hopes that the prognosis from the hospital is not as full of foreboding as what we're being told by our sources. And on the right, you can see that's the mess that has been reduced to ashes there. Parts of the plane, this is the tail of the plane crashing into the roof section of this cafe, bringing the roof down. An eyewitness has been quoted as having saying that after my office 200 meters from here, as soon as I stepped out of the office, I heard a very loud noise and smoke filled the area. Suddenly a commotion broke out here, and then we saw that this incident had occurred. When I reached the spot, I saw debris scattered here. There was a fire and smoke was billowing here. Nothing was visible. We then came to know that the wings of the aircraft fell here and that an aircraft crashed. We don't know about the casualties, but there is a building here where doctors reside. And that's the building that we were talking about, viewers, out of which is sticking out the tail of the plane in a rather ominous way. Now let's play out some eyewitness depositions.
यहीं मेरे ऑफिस में बैठी थी, जैसा धड़ाका हुआ मैं वहाँ ऑफिस से वहाँ गई। बहुत बड़ा प्लेन क्रैश हुआ था, तो बहुत धुआं और आग लगी थी। जो डॉक्टर्स के फ्लैट थे उनको बहुत डैमेज हुए हैं, और उसमें से कितने डॉक्टरों को हमने निकाला है, लोकल कार्यकर्ता और सब मिलके। बाद में जो प्लेन में से निकाले हैं वो लोग भी बहुत
बड़ी दुखद दुर्घटना,
बहुत
की मौत कुछ
अभी कोई अंदाजा नहीं लग रहा है। रहने वालों को भी बहुत नुकसान हुआ है। हमारी ट्रेन जा रही थी,
1 बजे जा रही थी प्लेन।
1:10 की फ्लाइट थी और जा रही थी लंदन। लंदन जाने से पहले ही क्रैश हो गया प्लेन।
मेरी सारी था वो खम्बीसर थी, लंदन जा रही थी।
हाँ, फिर
बस वो 1 घंटे में समाचार आ गया तो प्लेन क्रैश हो गया है, इसलिए मैं वापस अहमदाबाद से बाहर निकल गया था, तो वापस आए सील में आ गया। अभी कुछ भी समाचार नहीं मिला है।
यहाँ पे जो ऑफिस से बाहर निकला तो मैंने देखा कि आवाज़, जोर से आवाज़ आया विंग्स का, फिर पूरा धुआं भर गया। लोग यहाँ से भगदड़ मची। उसके बाद आके ये देख रहे थे ये हादसा की स्थिति है।
अच्छा, तो आप यहाँ पर पहले आए तो आपने क्या देखा?
आने के बाद देखा कि पूरा मलबा बिखरा हुआ, आग लगी है, पूरा धुआं गुब्बारा है, कुछ भी दिखाई नहीं दे रहा, समझ में नहीं आ पा रहा था क्या है। हाँ, उसके बाद पता चला कि ये विंग्स गिरा हुआ है, फ्लाइट वो किया, और फिर प्रशासन ने चारों तरफ से घेर लिया।
जब से आए कितने बजे हुआ तकरीबन ये हादसा, कुछ समय
लगभग 45 मिनट पहले हादसा हुआ।
Viewers, everyone expressing shock and pretty much confirming the sequence of events there. The plane takes off within a minute. It's down. It crashes into a building that houses a number of doctors because it is part of a medical establishment. In fact, the building was the cafeteria. You can see the pictures on the left of the plane. Tail of the plane that is sticking out of the top of that building, the roof section of the building. Below, those are the pictures from within the building. A lot of material there reduced to dust, burnt to smithereens. Anvinit is with us. We're also being told that Jamie Ray Meek, a British citizen listed as a passenger on Air India flight 171, reportedly shot a final Instagram short story just before takeoff, and that remains his final testament to the world. Very, very, very sad situation. Passengers from across the world on this flight. Remember, there were Canadians, there were British nationals, more than 50 British nationals, 169 Indian nationals, a number of Canadian nationals. The US government also putting out a statement, not just in sympathy, but also calling upon its citizens to check with the consulate there to ensure that they can make their way back home. Let me go across to Anvit. Anvit, what's the latest you have for us?
Rahul, what we are getting from ground is that the death toll has already crossed 140 and 150, and this is what the sources on ground are telling us. And among the passengers, the 242 passengers that were on board, Air India has also confirmed that there were 169 of them were Indian nationals, while 53 were British nationals. There also was one Canadian national on board, and 7 Portuguese nationals were there. The injured have certainly been taken to hospitals, but death toll is likely to rise. And from those who were on board the aircraft, it has almost confirmed. There's no official word though, but chances of survivors are really bleak in this incident. As we have also seen the visuals from ground, a number of locals had gathered on spot, and it is also one reason, because the area was heavily populated one. That is also one reason that there will certainly be fatalities from ground as well. The building that was hit by the plane, that is a doctor's hostel. Many of the occupants of the building have also been rushed to medical facilities, and there certain deaths have also been reported. The exact numbers are not still out, but it is expected that agencies certainly will be putting out the numbers soon. The police is expected to give out the numbers soon, but so far, even now, hours after the incident, focus is on rescue, because many people who are under the debris, who are in the building, they are being taken out. They are all being rushed to medical facilities, and soon we'll get the numbers also as to how many have been injured and what are the exact number of fatalities. But what we are learning is that out of 242 people, which includes 2 pilots and 10 cabin crew, number of survivors who were on that plane is really bleak to me.
Well, hoping against hope, praying that we get some good news, viewers. What a terrible tragedy to grip the nation. Shocked, many people shocked. Reactions coming from across the world, from pretty much every global leader commiserating with the Indian authorities, with the Indian government and the people of our country. Let me go across to Payal. Payal, what can you tell us about the news that you're receiving on the investigative front? We know that Civil Aviation Minister and the DGCA chief and Civil Aviation Secretary are being rushed to Ahmedabad. They're going to probably meet there. There's going to be a forensic inquiry and a probe into all of this. But what are you hearing from government sources?
Well, as far as the government is concerned, Rahul, one thing is for sure, that it will be a thorough investigation which will be done, because this also involves the unfortunate demise of foreign citizens, and therefore the government of India is extremely sure that there will be no lackluster, attitude at all as far as this is concerned, and therefore all the investigating agencies concerning this have been lost to the spot. We'll have to just wait and see how this forensic investigation and other investigation will really follow, and therefore Civil Aviation Minister Rammohan Naidu is expected to arrive in Ahmedabad anytime now. Union Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, who is also the son of the soil, is also reaching Ahmedabad very shortly. And, all the NDRF and other teams are already there in Ahmedabad and helping with the rescue and relief operation. And another flight has taken off from Delhi to Ahmedabad. It consists of officials from the DGCA, consists of the Civil Aviation Secretary also, and Brigade Mahal, who is the Minister of State for Civil Aviation. The government of India has assured not just the people over here, but also to all the foreign nationals and their countries that, a thorough investigation really will be done. It's very difficult at this point in time to point a finger at anybody in particular, given the fact that this is a modernized equipment, it's a modernized flight that had actually taken off from Ahmedabad. and therefore all efforts will be made sure that we get to the bottom of it as well.
Right.
And there is something which the government of India has sought.
Well, of course, premature viewers to even speculate about the reasons. It's too early in the day to do that, but clearly there was something very, very wrong that led to this unprecedented tragedy. No Dreamliner has crashed, especially of the 787 Boeing variety, anywhere in the world. India is the first place where this has happened. So obviously, viewers, there's going to be a lot of dismay, and there will also be a huge focus. Muralidhar Mohol, who is the Minister of State for Civil Aviation and Cooperation at the centre, has also spoken on this issue. Hardeep Singh Puri has also spoken on this issue. Let's go straight across to some reactions that we're playing out now.
कुछ समय पहले दोपहर को एक दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना घटी है। एयर इंडिया का AI-171 जो अहमदाबाद से लंदन जाने वाला जो फ्लाइट था वो क्रैश हो गया है। उसमें कुल 242 लोग थे, 230 पैसेंजर थे और 12 क्रू मेंबर्स थे। तो वहाँ पे अभी सब राहत का कार्य शुरू है, बचाव का कार्य वहाँ पे शुरू है। हमारे मिनिस्ट्री में भी अभी हमने एक वरिष्ठ अधिकारियों की एक बैठक भी करी है। जांच तो शुरू है, वरिष्ठ लेवल पे हमारी मीटिंग भी अभी यहाँ पे हुई है और वहाँ पे अभी इमरजेंसी में जो बचाव राहत का कार्य चल रहा है उस पर चर्चा हुई है। अभी किसी बात पर बोलना यानी कि कितनी कैजुअल्टी हुई, क्या हुआ, तो उस पर थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा।
There's a plane crash. Ahmedabad to London flight ਸੀਗੀ ਸਵੇਰੇ 8 ਵਜੇ ਦਾ ਸਮੇਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਐਂਡ ਉਹਦੇ ਚ there's an accident but ਹੁਣ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖਬਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਇਹੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਰਥਨਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੇ all those who were on board should be all right and we should await the news. I don't think one should speculate on that.
बहुत दुख की बात है,
कैजुअलिटी कंफर्म नहीं बट
बहुत दुख की बात है कि एयर इंडिया का एयरक्राफ्ट क्रैश हुआ है और जब एयरक्राफ्ट क्रैश होता है तो घटना बहुत बड़ी होती है। इसलिए इस समय पर इतनी जानकारी मिली है तो हमारी अपील यही होगी सरकार से, हालांकि सरकार खुद कोशिश कर रही होगी कि सभी यात्रियों को बचाएं, सुरक्षित पहुंचाएं और उनका इलाज हो। और हमारी भगवान से ये प्रार्थना है कि अगर इतना बड़ा एक्सीडेंट हुआ है तो किसी की जान न गई हो और हमारे पायलट भी सुरक्षित रहे हो।
Viewer statement coming out from Boeing. Boeing is saying that we're aware of initial reports and are working to gather more information. Remember, real-time information is relayed always from the plane to the manufacturer and it is kept and located at a particular center. So real-time information will be available to them. Of course, they would also be wanting to look at the crash footage. They will also be looking at the black... Anvit is there with us. Yes, so the black box is very, very important. Do we have any idea about whether the black box has been recovered as yet, Anvit? What are you learning?
See, right now the operations on ground are focusing on rescue and evacuation, and all the passengers who were on the plane as well as the casualties that have happened on ground, they need to be evacuated and taken to medical facilities. Even the bodies, the charred bodies that we've seen visuals, they need to be moved to mortuaries and PM will be conducted, and those formalities need to be done, and only after that, see, AIB teams are already on ground, and there will be DGCA officials are also already there, and they are looking into parallel investigations or have also begun into the cause of the probable cause of this crash. It might take some time to retract the black box and get information from it and the technical data that will be retrieved. Based on that, it will be ascertained as to what may have gone wrong, because there are multiple speculations as of now. Also, the last moment communication between the pilot and the ATC before the mayday call was given. If there was any communication or if there was any communication from the pilot highlighting that there is some issue with the aircraft, that also will be crucial in this investigation. So far, when we have spoken to the experts, they have highlighted two possibilities. One is the way the plane went down and declined on its flight path. One probable cause could be dual engine failure, which is certainly a rare thing to happen, rarest of the rare in fact. This, however, it is being suspected that there is birds problem in Ahmedabad. It is also in the Bangalore airport, we have reported in the past. But the menace of birds need to be really huge to bring both engines down. So that is also what makes it a rare happening, and that is one reason why the experts are saying that fuel starvation could be one reason, or fuel contamination could be one reason that why both the engines stopped working mid-air. That is one reason. Another, what they're talking about is there could be a power outage or control jamming, which is also a possibility that would bring the plane down. So these are the reasons that
Right.
the AIB will also be looking at, and also the DGCA.
Well, can you confirm? Can you confirm, because there are reports, of course, coming out that those are the Minister of Home Affairs. He's taking a flight right now to Ahmedabad. Of course, this area does fall under his constituency, or very near to his constituency, viewers, and he's on his way there. And we know that the Union Home Minister has already expressed his shock at this incident. We also know a senior BJP leader has been caught up in this crash. We're updating inputs on his exact status as of now. He's a former Gujarat Chief Minister. Mr. Rupani was on board that flight. What we are being told right now is that there is a lot of speculation that is going on in different circles about the reasons behind this crash, and many people are looking very closely at the footage. And as we have been pointing out through the afternoon, that when the plane took off, it didn't even have time to retract the landing gear, and suddenly suffers a catastrophic loss of lift, which people don't quite know how it could have been possible. How did it actually happen? Because fundamentally the Dreamliner has known to be extremely robust. There have been questions that have been appearing of recent, however, on different aspects of it. Federal Aviation Administration of America had said last year that it was investigating claims made by a Boeing engineer, and there have been, of course, this is well documented, it's been on various Netflix series, etc., who said that sections of the fuselage of the 787 Dreamliner were improperly fastened together and could break apart mid-flight after thousands of trips. Well, no such incident has been reported of recent, and if clearly that was not exactly what happened here, you can see that it's the engines that, or perhaps some other issue with the hydraulics that caused this loss of lift, because certainly no part of the fuselage here has come undone. Otherwise, we would have seen this particular plane unraveling mid-air. Let me go across to Payal. Payal, on the right, pictures of the Union Home Minister leaving for Ahmedabad.
Yes, it seems that the Home Minister will arrive in Ahmedabad in a short while from now. And of course, the Civil Aviation Minister also. What we are also learning, Rahul, that the BJP State President for Gujarat and Union Jal Shakti Minister C.R. Patil is also on his way to Gujarat. He has even also been asked